What's up, everyone? It's Otaku Tavern back at you with another video. Today I want to talk about something I've kind of mentioned before, but didn't really talk too much about it. But I want to talk about there is just nowhere to meet people anymore. And I'm kind of talking like from an otaku standpoint. I mean, it really applies to really anything, but kind of just this one thing I'm talking about. But it's like, sure, you may say things like anime conventions, stuff like that. We'll touch base on that here in a moment. But going to, like, say, Discord. It's really hard to meet people on there because if you're not a certain way, you don't believe a certain way, that already counts you out from a lot of people, especially within America or other Western countries, right? And then to top it all off, like in Discord servers, the way that this works is a lot of Discord servers, most I've seen, are not very kind or really caring about new members that join the server, right? And it's like, these people, they kind of small talk with a few like higher ups in the server, like other higher ups, small talk with other higher ups in the server, and that's pretty much all it boils down to. And like I've mentioned before about like the whole thing with the introductions tab in Discord servers. This is a pointless feature. I don't even know why servers even go and do this, really, because it serves no purpose. Because the purpose that it's intended is to put yourself out there. Hey, like I said before, that's what the normies and the alpha male community says, right? Go ahead and put yourself out there. And it's like, that doesn't work. Because you put yourself out there, what you do is you put your name, if you want, or what you want to go by on Discord, your age, gender, what you like, what you dislike, stuff like that, right? Well, the moment you put this stuff, the best that you will get is an emoji. You might get an emoji for that little post, but that will be it. No one's reaching out to you unless you're probably a woman. There's probably simps trying to reach out, but other than that, like, it's like people are not trying to reach out to make a connection, spark up a connection, a conversation, nothing. Like, and a lot of times, this just really defeats the purpose of introductions, because that's kind of what introductions are for, is to tell who you are, a little bit about you, and then people can be like, oh, okay, well, maybe I could vibe with this person. I'll add them up, or I'll DM them, right? That's not how it works, sadly, that's not how it works, and that's how it's kind of supposed to work. That's kind of the point of it. But it's like, and if you're a newcomer and you start trying to type, your chat will get buried. Like, it'll be completely buried by like the higher ups doing the small talk. Like, you'd be lucky if one person even saw it. Like, that's kind of the brutal reality of it. So it's like, you can't really meet people like that. And that's kind of what Discord is for, by the way. So, but it just goes to show that nothing works. And there's other things I've found that just don't work. Like, there's a site called Live Journal. If you don't know what this site is, it's a site that's been going on since the 2000s. And there's a thread on there. It's like make anime friends, right? Like some people like very rarely drop their Discord in there, but it's a dead thread pretty much. And it's like, you know, I've actually tried to add some of these people and none of them answer back, right? So it's like, you know, Facebook groups is the same thing with Discord, any of these social media groups, it's all the same thing. So I'm not really going to pick apart social media groups because it's all the same thing. If you're not like a higher up in the group or a specific type of person, you're completely ignored. Your post is, most of the time, your post may not even be added. It's like, there's nowhere to meet anybody, you know, let alone meet them in public because, you know, like, you can't really meet people anymore, you know, and that's like so this stuff I talked about, you know, there's nowhere to meet anybody anymore. I did a video, nobody wants to have fun anymore. I haven't uploaded it yet, but, it's like, you know, all the stuff that was like going pretty strong back in the day, clubs, nightclubs, stuff like that, that stuff is dead. Like it's completely dead. You know, and everybody is on the socials, and you know, it's so easy to reject someone on the socials. That's what people prefer to do. You know, when you're sitting here doing an introduction or making a post about what you want in a friend, I'm going to tell you this right now. I've learned this from experience. What they do is when they see this post, they read it and look in this post for a reason to reject you. And if you don't believe me, then keep on doing it and you'll see. But that is exactly how this works. There's nowhere to meet anybody. And that's what sucks, because how are you supposed to make friends or anything if there's nowhere to meet anybody? You know, as like an otaku, there's nowhere to meet them. You know, it's like, now, I mean, if you're trying to add like people from Japan, you probably have a lot better luck, honestly, unless you start getting real crazy with crazy ass beliefs. But you know, like, it's just it really sucks, because I honestly wish it wasn't like this, but it is. You know, another thing is like on the game, right? Like you can't hardly add anybody on the game, because when you do add them on the game, they'll be like, who are you? What do you want? Who the hell are you? You know, stuff like that. And people don't even know how to have a conversation anymore. They're so mad and uptight all the time that that's how they respond to another individual that they don't know, right? But like, you know, and then the anime convention stuff, look, you can say this all you want, but it's like, I mean, I don't have any of that stuff near me, but I have seen stuff like this on video. I've seen people talk about this. This is not a good place to make friends either, because everybody is worried about themselves and their own business, what they're trying to do. They are not there to try to make a friend. So it's like, you know, that's not going to work either if those people are not there to try to make friends and stuff. That's not going to work. I've seen countless people talk about that, and it's like, you know, talk about how they ain't what they used to be, you know, making friends. It's like everybody's stuck up now. Everybody just wants to stick to themselves. Because as long as they got the social media and the phone, they don't care. That's all they want. But like, yeah, there's nowhere to meet anybody. You know, you can't add anybody on the game. Or nothing, and it's just it's brutal. It's hard to, you know, even. Another thing too is like nobody will add you either. Nobody will add you on the game. Now they may DM you if they want to send like a hate message because you beat their ass in a game or something. They'll definitely do that. But other than that, no. You know, I remember back in PS3 days, I remember playing Dragon Ball Raging Blast 2 online, and you know, a lot of times when I didn't really lose a lot of matches on there, and a lot of times when I would beat somebody, you know, they'd message me and be like, GG, you know, which means good game, you know. It's like, you know, now you may like rarely get a GG from somebody, but it's like, you know, you beat someone in a game, it's like, oh, you mother effer, like I hope this and this bad happens to you. Like that's how they work now. Because it's like everyone's just filled with hate nowadays. Like that's all it boils down to. They're filled with anger, hatred, and everything else. Like it's you can't even really talk to anybody. And this is for everything, not specifically just an otaku situation, but you know, as an otaku and gamer situation, this is the harsh reality of this. Like, you know, if you're like a true genuine one that's like really all in with the whole anime scene and stuff, but it's, I don't know, I don't know. Like I had a friend, I have a friend I used to talk to all the time. I still hear from him sometimes, but and it's like, you know, when we used to play a game on PlayStation 4 because he really wanted me to play it with him. It was a game that's called Brawlhalla, right? It was a free game. And it's kind of like Smash Bros in a way, like it's got that kind of style. And I mean, this guy, like oh my gosh, dude, you know, he was pretty competitive on there, and he every time like someone would spam, they would beat him or something, he would open a message up and start messaging them. Like shit talking them, trash talking them. Like I remember that like it was yesterday. Like, and some of the stuff was pretty funny because like he would get really riled up about it. But it's like, you know, he was doing it kind of though, I think, just kind of be comical. But like, because he actually made a couple of like friends like that apparently, or acquaintances, so to say. Like he doesn't talk to him anymore though. So wouldn't be a genuine friend, but that's kind of stuff I'm talking about. But like, see, a lot of people, they're doing it with hateful intent, you know, like it's just, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, let me know if you guys have personally experienced this. I'm pretty sure you have if you're watching this video. But anyway, yeah, you guys take care. See ya.